Hi, everyone. My name is Tony Swanson. I am the president of the Minnesota Consultant Dietitians. I am here with Katie, and she is our secretary. And her role will be open for our next 2 years. So we are excited to hear a little bit more about the position and hear from Katie. So first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself and why you wanted to get involved in Minnesota Consultant Dietitians.
Hi, I'm Katie Kovich. I'm the current secretary of the Minnesota Consultant Dietitians. Um, I have worked in long-term care and skilled nursing facilities pretty much my whole career. I have had positions both as an in-house dietitian as a consultant dietitian. So I do like, and I've had experience kind of in those different roles and settings in different size buildings, small 30-bed buildings, 200-bed buildings, rural and more metro buildings. So I really enjoy having those experiences and working with different clinical groups and in different facilities. So my career has always been, in this setting. And earlier in my career, that's when it led me to find this organization. And I was really happy to find a group that was a little bit more targeted towards being in skilled nursing facilities, kind of having that as their background and core of kind of um, what the group focuses on. But then also just having participated with this group and with the different spring and fall meetings, having seen different topics, so that this organization isn't just that sort of niche area, but does focus on different CU options, different speakers, just to add a little bit more uh, other focuses as well, and having that those experiences for the members. So that's kind of how I came to be part of the organization, and it has brought me to now being one of the boards. So one of the previous board members had invited me to consider being in this position, and that's how I came to participate.
Awesome, awesome. So we said that your current role is a secretary. So tell us a little bit about the tasks of your current role.
Sure. So there's kind of I sort of consider two main focuses of what I do in this role. Part of it is sort of the secretary role of taking minutes and managing that information, and then the other main core is to help manage the communication with the members and with the email listservs. And so part of what that part is kind of the predominant role in this position. So it is helping to manage the member rosters when we have our membership drives, making sure that we have all the emails and managing that whole system, and then also part of the communication. So really kind of coordinating between the board and the members with our conferences, pre-registration, getting that whole process is actually probably the majority of what I've spent time on in this role.
All right, thank you. So how many volunteer hours do you think that you spend in this role?
It does vary. So I think, and probably the other roles say the same
Yeah.
thing when we have those interviews. I would say kind of off season, so between, when we're kind of in the downtime between our spring and our fall conferences, I would say it can and vary from as little as 1 to a couple hours a month. So the time in the conference calls or Zoom meetings or in person back when we had those options, and then just a little bit of paperwork after that. It can vary as we start ramping up to the conferences. So that would be like a couple hours a month, I would say. Getting more prepared would be maybe up to a couple hours a week. Would be just kind of ramping into the conference time. I would say at the most the busiest time is probably the couple weeks before those conferences, and again that's kind of going back to the communicating with the members and kind of facilitating that. I would say even at that highest level, probably no more than like 5 hours a week, and that might just be like that first kind of 1 or 2 weeks before the conference
Mhm.
would be the busiest at that point.
Yep.
But mostly it's handling emails and just, keeping the rosters and sign up straight. I would say we've had a little bit of a difference this year because we've gone through and done the online. And so that has actually made it a little busier, I think, in this role, just because,
Mhm.
especially trying to separate out the different sessions and manage, who signed up for those sessions and the communication. So um, when I had the opportunity to be in this role, the spring of 2019, it was an in-person conference, so there was a less work at that point. So I would say, it's certainly manageable. It's been a little bit more just this last go around because it was a new process for all of us,
Mhm.
but certainly manageable, and not consistently busy in this role.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we have a good base now. We kind of know what we're doing virtually
Yes,
compared. It was
yes.
very new territory. Yeah,
Mhm.
awesome. What do you most enjoy about your role with MCD?
I think kind of just what you alluded to with kind of navigating, the challenge of being more online. I think that's one of the great things that we have going right now is we have. I feel that there's a real diversity in the board of kind of what people's strengths are, and I think that's really helped navigate through this change. And so I think that's one of the things that I have really enjoyed is just kind of knowing that there are people that have different skill sets and have worked really well to make sure that we were able to get through the conference and pull that off for our members.
Awesome. So are there any other comments you want to make for our members?
I think this is a great opportunity to kind of move forward, and we have we sent a survey out to the members to kind of get a feel for what the members want, to move more into kind of the online and the virtual and try to mesh that. And going forward, I think it's really valuable to have um, the in-person conferences when that's a time that we can have that again and have that ability to have that in-person networking. I think even when I first joined, there have been a lot of members that have been part of this organization for a long time. So it's nice to be able to kind of interact with members that are interested in kind of the long-term care, the consulting world, and have that depth of experience. So I really think that's been fun for me to see since I've been part of this organization, and see how that kind of evolves going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for telling us about your position, and for your time today.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you later.
Bye.